tomorrow this whole subject. Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayesho Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. You are welcome for morning Bhagavatam class at ISKCON Jagannath Temple, Seshadipuram, Bengaluru. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto and chapter 1 and verse number 2. The first 4 verses are the question asked by Maharaj Parikshit with astonishment about the Priyavrata Maharaj entering into the household life, though he was already Naistaki Brahmachari under Devrishi Narada. So, second verse we will read today. Nanyonam mukta sanganam tadrishanam dveja rishabha Grihesho abhinivesho ayam punsham bhavitum maharati na nyunam mukta sanganam. Na nyunam, certainly it's not possible for mukta sanganam, those who are liberated, those who are liberated from the sensual platform, mukta sanganam. Sangha generally means the association of the senses with the sense object is called sanganam. And mukta means one who is freed from the sense with sense objects. Tadrisham means just like Maharaj Parikshit. Dveja Rishabh is addressed to the Sukdev Goswami, best among the Brahmanas. Griheshu abhiniveshu. Griheshu means household life, abhinish means completely absorbed or attached. Ayam punsham bhavitam aharati. Those who are detached, those who are free from material attachment, how they can be completely absorbed in a household life? This is a question. So the translation Srila Prabhupada writes, devotees are certainly liberated, which means mukta sanganam. Devotees are certainly liberated. Certainly what is for nyunam? Nyunam means certainly and mukta sanganam means devotee. Are liberated. Therefore, O greatest of the Brahmans, Dveja Rishabha, Sukdev, they cannot possibly, they means devotees, cannot possibly be absorbed in family life. Greshu abhiniveshu. Abhinivesh means absorbed. So devotees cannot be absorbed in family life. That is the question. So Srila Chakravarti Pad writes this, O best of the Brahman, Dveja Rishabha, person such as him, Tadrisham Punsham. Tadrisham means just like him. Free from material attachment, Mukta Sanganam, should certainly not, Nanyunam, become absorbed in family life, Greshu Abnaveshu Bhavatim Arati. So, the summary of the verse is, devotee like him cannot be possibly absorbed in family affairs, because he was already detached from the sense-enjoying mentality. Srila Prabhupada's purport. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that by executing devotional service to the Lord, one can understand the transcendental position of the living being and Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now this is a statement from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Where it is, it's not, there's no quote here. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu it is said that by executing devotional service to the Lord, one can understand the transcendental position of the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what it means actually? How people see, how we see. We see with our eyes. We see with our eyes. Can we see in darkness? Therefore we see by light. If there is light, then we can see. Eyes cannot see anything if there is no light. So, when sun rises, we can see sun, we can see ourselves, and we can see the material world. This is the principle. So, devotional service to Krishna means we first know Krishna is Surya Saman, is like a sun. When the sun Krishna rises, then we understand Krishna, we understand ourselves, and we understand our relationship and our relationship with the material world. So in Vedic philosophy there are three words: Jiva, Jagat, Jagdish. Jiva, Jagat, Jagdish. One who understands all these three, he is transcendentalist. He knows who is Jiva, living entity, Jagat, material world, and Jagadish, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada said, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu says, by practicing devotional service, executing devotional service. Executing devotional service means acting, is abhideya. Is abhideya, means practicing devotional service. The result is, we know our spiritual identity and our Swarup, that is the eternal servant of Krishna, and then we know who is Krishna and what is our relationship with Krishna as a master and a servant. And we know also the material world, how the material world is related to Krishna, is completely under the superintendence of Krishna. Maya Dikshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Material nature is working under Krishna. And we have to be free from the influence of three modes of material nature in order to understand Krishna. So we know all these three things by devotional service. Because devotional service is actually Swarup Shakti of Krishna. It is expansion of the Swarup Shakti of Krishna. It is transcendental. It is ahituki. It has no any other cause. It is beyond three modes of material. As a devotional service is beyond three modes of material nature. Devotee may not be. But the devotional service is beyond three modes of material nature. Like fire is fire. If the wood is wet, it can immediately burn. If the wood is green, there will be no fire affecting the wood. Doesn't mean that fire has no power. Fire has a power, but the wood is not ready to be burned now. So devotee may not be ready to actually reach to that stage to know God and to know soul, but the devotion is perfect. in itself. So process is perfect, but the person who is practicing may not be. That's what Prabhupada used to say. The message I am giving is perfect, but I may not be perfect. Because the message is of perfect Supreme Personality of God. And that's it. That's what it means. By devotional service we can know the God, we can know the transcendental position of soul. Transcendental position of the living entity means living entity is beyond three modes of material nature in its constitutional position. It's the imposition on the living entity of three modes of material nature, and this is because of false ego. The knot by which the pure living entity is entangled with the three modes of material nature is by ignorance and false ego. So the knot which connect the two is false ego, and that is because of ignorance. So next line says, Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be understood by any means except bhakti. So only by devotion the Supreme Lord can be understood. And this is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 11:14-21. Bhaktya aham ekaya grahaya. Bhaktyam ekam. Only by devotion. Aham means Krishna. Grahaya means you can understand me. You can have me. We can have Krishna only and exclusively by devotional service. There's no other way. No other way. And same thing is also, Prabhupada said, only by executing devotional service can one appreciate me. One appreciate me means I am different from normal living entities. They appreciate my transcendental nature. Same thing is in Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by devotion can I be known. Simply by discharging devotional service one can understand me. Thus for the bhakta to become attached to family affair is impossible. Since bhakta and his associates are liberated. Now this last line is very important. See? Thus means because Lord is known by devotion. And one person who is practicing devotional service, it means he knows the Lord. Thus, for a bhakta, for a devotee, to become attached to the family affairs means abhinivesh, greshu abhinivesh, completely absorbed in family life is impossible. Why it is impossible? Since bhakta and his associate means those with whom he live, it means family, are liberated. Gorangera sangi gana mukta kari mane jaye golok dham. You know this line of the bhajan? Golokera sangi gana mukta kari jane. They all are liberated. And the one who believes in that, he will go to the Golok. He will go to the spiritual world. So it means the devotees, when they have family, it's all the liberated people. Like the Jananda Baba has a family. He has a wife, Yashoda, he has brother, he has sister, he has children, but there's no attachment. They all are attached to only Krishna. They have a responsibility of the family, but they have no absorption in the family. Absorption is in Krishna and the responsibility of the family. So to be responsible and to be attached are different things. One should be responsible for the family, and he can be, or both can be attached to Krishna. All can be attached to Krishna. That is actually a transcendental position of a devotee, that they live together in a family to take responsibility of one another, but they all are absorbed in serving Krishna. Their minds are attached to Krishna. That is the transcendental position of a family life. So, everyone is searching after Ananda or bliss, but in the material world there can never be any bliss. It's only possible in devotional service. Attachment to family affairs and devotional service are incompatible. Both cannot go together. You can be attached to Krishna or you can be attached to the family. Vritasur said, if by chance I take birth again, my lord, by your material energy, I should not be attached to the family, but I should have friendship with your devotees. Please give me this benediction. So if we have friendship with the devotees, then those devotees will help us to mostly engage in the service of Krishna, absorbed in thought of Krishna, and then we can take responsibility of family without being attached to the family. Like Maharaj Bharata, when he saved the baby deer, it is a responsibility of a devotee. But when he was attached to the deer, that was not proper. That led to his taking one more birth. So responsibility is something and attachment is different thing. So we should be responsible to our family life or to our social life or to our national life, but we should not be attached to these things because they are all temporary. The attachment should be to the permanent thing. Responsibility is to, so there is a principle, love Krishna, maintain relationship with the world. The focus of our love is Krishna. In a family, the center is Krishna, and the rest is the responsibility. And perfectly we should execute that responsibility. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was somewhat surprised to hear that Maharaj Priyavrata was simultaneously attached to the devotional service and to the family life. And the verse number 23, which is a prose, not a poetry, ensures that how by practicing devotional service, Priyavrata was not attached to the family life, though he was living in a family life. So how, I mean, this verse gives us actually the insight how the devotee can live in a household life and simultaneously he can be attached to Krishna. So this is a devotional technique which a devotee has to learn in association of devotees, that how can we perfectly situate ourselves in our constitutional position as a servant of Krishna, love and serve Krishna, but we should also be responsible for our necessities and surroundings in which we are put because of our karma. The Mataji was doing deity worship and her baby was crying. Prabhupada saw that and he said, stop serving the deities, take care of your baby. Your first responsibility is to take care of your baby. So what it means is Prabhupada understood that if you have a child, then you have to be responsible for that. It's not that in the name of devotion you just ignore your responsibility. If you have taken responsibility, then be responsible for that. So somebody else will do the devotional service. You should be attached to Krishna, but doesn't mean that you give up your responsibilities. So how Priyavrata only followed the order of Brahma and his father Swayambhu Manu as a responsibility to rule as a emperor, but he was not attached to that. And this Priyavrata Maharaj, not Priyavrata Maharaj is example of detachment. Maharaj Bharat is at the stage of Bhav Bhakti and is example of Vrakti. He was already detached. He was not attached to household life. He was not attached to the treasury. He is not attached to the army. He is not attached to the opulence of the kingdom. He was simply doing his responsibility. So doing responsibility and being attached are different things. So we have to simply analyze this thing. What is the responsibility and what is attachment? गाड़ी आ गया? Hare Krishna. I think you can discuss this. What is the responsibility? What is the jurisdiction of responsibility and what is the jurisdiction of the attachment? Like I gave you one example. The jurisdiction, I say, responsibility is to save the baby deer. Is a responsibility of a gentleman, but to be attached to the baby deer is wrong. So similarly, we should not be attached to the family, but we should be responsible for the family. Or whatever in situation we are, in a family or in any other affairs. And the one line Prabhupada says, devotees cannot possibly be attached to the family because all associates are liberated. That statement is also it means all the pure devotees, when they descend from the spiritual world, they act as a family, but they are all liberated. They are only attached to Krishna. They are all raga atmika bhakta. Their only the love and attachment is to Krishna. They have their behavior as a son, father, friend, brother, but their whole focus is Krishna, nothing else. Their whole thinking process is just focus on Krishna. Krishna is their life and soul. Hare Krishna. I think I have not recorded myself. I'll get we have to reach there for some program I came, so I have to go. You can discuss. गाड़ी आ गया? Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we will discuss these 4 verses all together.